Hello and welcome to the show. I'm here on Forza Horizon 2 with another rally car slash truck build. In this case, yes, I've got one of the new cars from the latest Top Gear DLC pack. It is the Lamborghini LM002. I'm not normally a fan of SUVs, but I do like this because it is quite frankly crazy. It has the engine from a Lamborghini Countach, which is always good. I'm thinking this could be quite fast, in all honesty. I mean, the Shelby Raptor went very quickly around our track, despite being, I think, about 4,000 pounds by the time I was finished with it. I did have 990-something horsepower, had a lot of power, so there is certainly potential for this thing to be damn fast. As per normal with these rally car builds, the rules are it must have the off-road tyres. Look at the size of these tyres, they are massive. It has to have the Storm Island compound tyres. To be fair, I think the normal tyres look like they do better, in all honesty. The normal tyres are huge. We're going with the Storm Island tyres. We have to use the rally gearbox, so we're going to have some nice short gear ratios, which I can already tell is going to be useful, having seen how long first gear was, just driving up to the blooming Horizon hub bit. And we're going for the Storm Island suspension that actually makes the car lower. Okay, sure, but we're going with it. That's the rules. It has to have that, and it has to be four-wheel drive. Right, okay. It comes as four-wheel drive, so we don't need to worry about that. Have we got the way of anything? Ooh, we have a guard at the front. Yes, we're going to take that to try and protect it over the jumps. Quite an interesting sticky outy guard. What have we got at the back? I'm hoping for a city wing. Oh, no. Sure, that gives it adjustable downforce, apparently. No. That's not quite how downforce works, but I'm going to have it anyway. It looks cool. So, I was really hoping for, like, the crew-style wing at the back. I know that was a lot to ask for, but never mind. Still looks pretty damn interesting. I'll give it that. Okay, tyres. How big are tyres? 345s on the rear. Lovely big tyres on this car, which is going to help it. It's going to help having... I'm going to have 345s on the front. I think this could surprise us. I think this could really go quite quickly towards the top of the leaderboard. Now, I'm assuming we can have. We can't have an engine swap. I was really hoping we could get the big V12s in it. We may have to go with a twin turbocharger on this one. Let's just see what the PI. We're going to put it up to S1 class. We're going to see what the. We won't worry about that. What the PI is after I finish with the handling parts. Handling parts are going to be the most important with a car like this. Big brakes are definite. We're going for some race anti-roll bars. Do I want a roll cage in this car? I mean, it's going to be a heavy car, let's face it. I think a roll cage might be quite useful with a big truck. Sort of stiffen up the chassis. In sort of a lightweight sports car, they've already got a pretty decent chassis. This is a little bit older, and yeah, it's a bit of a bigger vehicle, so sure, we'll go with that. Weight reduction. Please make it light. It's going to weigh about as much as the damn Shelby. 4,000, near enough 4,800 pounds. Yeah, that's a lot of weight. On the plus side, we are of course going to get an awful lot of power in this truck. Please have enough power. Please have enough power. I don't know. I don't want to think what this thing would be like with rear-wheel drive. We're going to go with twin turbochargers just to get as much as we can. I don't know how powerful. I think the Countaches will probably get about 800 horsepower. Maybe not even quite 800, if I remembered correctly from Forza 5. We may struggle to get this to the top of S1 class, in all honesty. Yeah, okay, we may be slightly lacking on PI. Oh, that intercooler gave it a lot of horsepower. I mean, I don't think we're gonna be as powerful as the Shelby, and we're still gonna have the same weight. Okay, we may be lacking a little bit on the power front. Yeah, I mean, this is only adding a couple of horsepower here and there. Okay, we're going to be down on power. We're going to be down on power, up on weight, and quite low on PI. Could still maybe go quicker than the Mini. I think it's unlikely, though. In all honesty, we're going to be an awful long way down on PI bugger. That's a bit of a shame. I'll keep going with it, though. Again, it could surprise us. I mean, it's just not going to have the same acceleration as the Shelby did out of the corners because, well, let's face it, it weighs the same and has 200 less horsepower. So, okay, we're gonna stick on a flywheel. I mean, we might as well put on all of these parts that we can get the PI as high as possible. Yeah, we can pretty much put on whatever the hell we want. Clutch, yeah, that can go on as well, and we'll stick on this, and that'll take out a decent amount of weight. Sure, we'll go with that. We'll go with a differential. Sure, we'll just shove that in there as well. Can I bother to put Dimags on it? It'll probably look utterly stupid as a last-ditch resort. Can we get... I don't even know. This is how little I look in rims. Where do I find the... Are the Dimags still the lightest? I don't bloody know. I also don't know where on earth you find them. I think I've gone... If they were in here, I've probably gone past them. But I mean, we're only looking at a couple of PI, bugger it. We're going to keep the normal... We're going to keep the normal wheel so it doesn't look as stupid. Sure. Okay, well... The Lamborghini is down on PI. It might be quite easy to drive, and it should survive the jumps very, very well. I don't know. Well, we're not going to go quickest. There is not a hope in hell that we're going to go quickest now. We could potentially beat the Mini. It's asking quite a lot of it, though, because it's still going to be quite sluggish. I think it's got more power than the Mini. I think, despite the fact that the Mini was pretty much the top of the top of S1 class, I think this has got more power. It does weigh a little bit more, but it's got quite a lot more power. So, sure, we'll give it a go. Yeah, the chances of this going fastest are incredibly unlikely. But yeah, it could still put in a surprise. May go quicker than the Subaru Brat as well, because that thing was horrible to drive. If this can be nice and planted on the road, then it stands a chance of setting an okay time. Right, I like the I like the wood dashboard. Okay, sure. You have an interesting driving. It kind of feels as if I'm driving a stealth or a stealth fighter with the strange bonnet going on. Sure. Okay, how are we on the grip front? Well, through these first few corners, it hasn't been too bad. Again, very reminiscent of the Shelby. It's big, it's heavy, but it has some decent grip. How do we fly? Look at that. Lovely flight through the air and a smooth landing. It is a little bit on the oversteer. Again, perhaps just slightly cold tyres. I mean, we're off-road, we're going to slide about a little bit more. Whoa! That was unexpected. What did it do there? I don't know. Yeah, cold tyres, I mean, you're going to gain a little bit of time after the first lap, even when you're off-roading, it seems. So yeah, that's a small factor, but on dirt, of course, it's a much, much smaller factor. We fly quite nicely through the air. We can land quite nicely. I don't know what it did. Like through that bump, it did something very strange. How are we doing straight line speed? I mean, we're 10 miles an hour off the last couple of cars that went. Although the last couple of cars that went were the Impreza and the Evo that both almost got under the 1 minute mark. So yeah, I wouldn't perhaps expect this to be cracking 140. It's not too sluggish then. I mean, a lot of cars are getting around the 130 mile an hour mark. So that's not too bad considering the weight and it having a lot less power than the Shelby. Ooh, again, there's just that kick of oversteer that I'm not really liking from the Lambo. Try and keep it on the track. Oh, okay, I've ballsed that one up completely. That was my bad there. And around this next corner, yeah, we can't quite carry the corner speed that I want to, because the back end will slide around, and we definitely don't have the same punch out of the corners. It's not surprising. I mean, to make up for that weight, you need like thousands of horsepower, or 8,000 horsepower would be quite nice. And it's just not got it. It's just not as powerful. I had the Shelby engine in this. I think it would be damn fast. It has just done a 1 minute 2.4. It's gone quicker than an Audi Quattro and the MG Metro, and I think that's put it very close to the Raptor. I'll have to have a look at the times once I've finished. That is a blooming fast lap time considering the amount of PI we're down, and I say lack of power, about a 750 horsepower car, but considering we're down on the power of some of the other vehicles, that's an impressive time from the Lamborghini, and if we don't get it all unhappy, that was much better through there. It does do a slightly odd thing through the corners. I will be honest, it does not like that. Okay, there is something slightly funky about the suspension. It doesn't like that dip through there. I'm not sure what it is either. That's I don't think I can take that line. I can't. Oh, okay, we're out really wide. I don't think I can actually run down that section, because the minute I do, it spins the Lamborghini out. Strange. Whoa, that's kicked the back up over the jump. but we are okay on the landing. It's a big truck, it's fine. It can deal with that. We get decent airtime off that one as well. I mean, we're doing... I'm really impressed with the speed that we're getting from the Lamborghini. Even if I think perhaps the suspension is almost too soft, it's not... Through most of these corners it's not quite, but I think it was wanting to lift up on 3 wheels. I think that's what the Lamborghini is doing. Yeah, I think that's what it's doing through these corners. I mean, on this landing down here, in fact we get a bit of a bump this time, we can run through, and again that's me being flat out, we can run through that corner. It's down here that we're going to have the problem. For whatever reason, the suspension can't deal with it if you aim for that bit, so I have to try to avoid it, and again, it's just a tiny dab on the brakes, almost flat out around that next corner. Admittedly, I'm in a bit of a higher gear by accident, and then, oh, we've overshot completely there. That was my bad. Okay, this lap's ruined. I'm just going to be a bit cheeky so that we have a fair run in for the final lap. I'm just going to, I know this is slightly cheating, but no, it's not slightly cheating, it's just giving the car a fair final lap. For this, go Lamborghini, kick up all of the dust, and then we will try for one final lap. Can we go quicker? Could we really get a 1:01? I mean, that's maybe possible. If I get everything absolutely perfect, maybe we could see a 1:01 from... It's a lot quicker. I thought this was going to be languishing down towards the bottom. It's really done quite well. Okay, here we go. Into turn 1. Make sure we get it stopped. It's a big old heavy thing. It doesn't slow down as nicely as some of the other vehicles. Yeah, it's definitely lifting the front. It's definitely wanting to lift the front of the car up into the air, which is not ideal. That's not what you want a car to be doing. In fact, we are absolutely flying on this lap. Across the jump. A bit of a dodgy landing that time. I changed down in mid-air, and it seems to be a bit better through that corner. Now, don't put it in 6th by accident. We're getting chucked left and right around here. It's almost too soft a suspension. I'm having to avoid that dip. I don't really like taking that wide line. I will try my best to stay on the actual road, but on that section there, it is essential. It is absolutely essential to do that, because otherwise we just spin the truck. This is where we lose the time, I think, or most of the time. It's just doesn't have the power. It does not have the power at all. Onto this back straight bit, up towards the line. Have we gone quicker? Bloody hell! A 1:01.8. It goes quicker than the Mitsubishi Galant. It goes quicker than the Shelby Raptor. It is 0.1 of a second off a Ford Escort Mark II. This car is only halfway through S1 class. That's how fast the Lamborghini is. Holy, if this had the V12 engine, if I could stick the V12 engine, hell, if I could stick the engine from a Diablo or an Aventador in this thing and get more power out of it, this would perhaps challenge the fastest cars. It just doesn't have the power. You saw I kept up with the ghost of that Esprit through quite a bit of the course. Is the final straight where we lose the most of the time in the Lamborghini. It's just, well, it's too heavy and doesn't have enough power to compensate for it. Still, that is... Okay, that's not what I expected at all. Wow, I am mighty impressed with this Lamborghini. It goes into 6th place on our table. That is really... I mean, that's only half a second off a Lancia Delta S4, and this is only halfway through S1 class. Lamborghini is quite an impressive vehicle. Not too bad to drive, although, as I said, I think the suspension is too soft, and that can cause a few problems. If you get things right, though, it will absolutely fly around a rally course. Well, that is it for this video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.